Hello, it's a wee bit nippy today with a gale force 9 coming in from the Arctic last night, so yeah, it's a bit nippy.
Oh, you're here. Nice to see you. It's a bit blowy out there, like I said, isn't it? I was just warming up with a nice brew. That's better. So, Cullen Skink. You probably already know what Cullen Skink is. But for those of you who don't, skink is a word used in the northeast of Scotland for stew. And on the coast, when meat was in short supply, they used fish. And now it's probably one of the most famous Scottish dishes, Cullen Skink, from the village of Cullen, obviously, in the northeast of Scotland. So we're a bit further than the northeast. We're right on the very top of the north of Scotland. But this soup travels well. So we have our ingredients all ready, and I'm going to talk you through the process. But I'll just have a wee bit of tea first. Very good. Right, there are numerous recipes for Cullen Skink. Don't have to follow them all. Just do what you think's right. I'm going to give you the quick and easy version. All of Cullen Skink recipes have some very basic ingredients. First of all, undyed smoked haddock. Now, I bought that from the Fishman this morning. You can see the stripe where it's been through the smoker. That's not dyed, that's natural peat smoke. That's the fish. Milk. Onion. Now, I got these from a little local vegetable market in Thursday. I believe it's called Lidl. And these are shallots. And actually, shallots are really nice in Cullen Skink. So we'll chop them. I've also got potatoes. Now, the potatoes is interesting. So if you've got some leftover mash or leftover boiled tatties, actually you can use those. But if you don't, peel a couple of big spuds. But I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to use the last here of my spuds out the garden. And they've got very, very, very thin skins, so I shan't need to peel them at all. And there's about 250 grams. Oh, I can't remember. I've probably got the number wrong, but I will give you the recipe separately. We also have good old butter, flying butter even. Look at that. Rock salt, pepper, and a wee drop of cream. Then I also have some spring onions or scallions, whatever you want to call them, and I like to just chop those in and sprinkle them on the top at the end for a bit of extra onion zest. So the first job we have to do is chop the onions, chop the potatoes, and then we're going to saute them in a bit of the butter. That sounds a bit boring for you to watch. Shall I just get on and do it? Oh, meant to say, another really good tip for cooking is have a decent knife. Now, this is a decent knife. This is a Damascus steel knife. Absolutely perfect for chopping things up. However, somebody put this one in the dishwasher, so it's dull. We'll use this one instead. This is also a Damascus steel, and it's a good sharp one, and we've not got big tatties, so it'll be easy for chopping up. On we go. I'll be back soon. Basically, I'm just whittering on here about how not to get runny eyes when you're chopping onions, and the whole point being that the quicker you chop, the less likely that you are to get runny eyes. It's a bit boring watching butter melt, isn't it? This is a really lovely solid electric plate stove. Oh dear, we could be here a while just waiting for the actual ring to heat up. So, in case this gets really boring, I might pause and come back. Look, the butter is melting. Have a mouthful of tea while I'm waiting for the butter to melt. Oh, that's good. At least I can get proper Yorkshire tea up here. So there's our onions looking a bit soft and lovely. So I'm going to put the tatties in. Give it a sugar. There's the tatties. The tatties are in with the onions, shallots. I'll just give them a bit of a coating in the butter. It'd take forever if I was going to use just butter, but now I'm going to add milk. Okie doke. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so I'll give it a wee stir. Now I'm going to put the lid on and leave that to gently simmer for about 15 minutes. Okay, back soon. Let me have a wee chat about something else, which is this recipe uses all milk with a splash of cream. That can be a bit overpowering and a bit rich if you're not so keen on very milky things. What I will say is if you don't like dairy products, it works very, very well if you use a milk alternative such as pea milk. Pea milk in particular is really rich and creamy. The other thing is that when I make this, if I'm making it for a few people, I don't want to use gallons of milk, and I might want to try and punch the flavour through a bit more. And if I've got access to stuff to make fish stock, I'll make a good fish stock. That, as you probably know, if you've ever tried to get the ingredients for a fish stock, is that burning? Where am I? Fish stock. Aye, if you don't want to make it with all milk, it's nice to use fish stock. So, I'm going to give you a tip. This is a wee tin of sardines, sardine fillets. Just chuck that in a jug and add hot water. Give it a stir. And even if you're a complete anchovy refuser, hater, you won't know they're there because they dissolve completely and they add a rich depth of fishy to the soup without making it too salty or too anchovy-ish. So I'm going to add that into my pan. Back in a minute. Cup of tea. Can't think of anything to tell you. Should I tell you about the gale force 9 last night? Oh, coming down the chimney. Oh my goodness, what a racket. And apparently it's going to get really, really cold, which I can vouch for because when I was on my way back from showing you the sea this morning, it started to hail and then snow. So, 'tis November. What can you expect?
Ah, that's looking lovely. Now then, if you've got good strong hands and arms, now is the time to get your tatty masher in and do a bit of mashing. But as I don't have either strong hands or a tatty masher, I'm going to do just a little bit of mashing with a hand blender. Quite hard to do with one hand and video at the same time without splattering the whole kitchen. So we want to leave some lumps. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may be thinking there's some really, really important ingredient missing from this, and you'd be right. It's the fish. Well, some recipes say poach the fish with a bay leaf and then drain it with a slotted spoon. But you know, I just pop it in now. 2 pieces, 2 big chunks today from Malcolm the fish man. I'm just going to cover it and leave it to cook in its own residual heat. The fish doesn't need a lot of cooking. Oh, it's looking good. Oh, I need to leave it alone. Stop fiddling, woman. Put the lid on. So I'm going to leave that for a couple of minutes and then it'll be done. And then we'll just flake it in and that will be the soup ready. And we'll do a little tasting.
Bit of seasoning, bit of salt and pepper in. Doesn't need much. Depends how peppery you like it, I suppose. But what it does need is a dollop of cream. And again, It's up to you how much you want to put in. It's a matter of taste. And you can always do that fancy swirly thing with the cream when you put it on the plate, of course, as well. But I'm not going to heat that cream because it's split. So there is my soup. I'll show you with this video.
There we go. Salt, pepper, and a dollop of cream added. It's looking rather yummy and hearty, don't you think? So I'll go over here, because I'm always well prepared in advance, of course, but I need a ladle and give it a wee bit of a stir. Oh, be good if you were watching, eh? There we go. A delicious bowl of Cullen Skink.
And just, there we go. A delicious bowl, whoops, of Cullen Skink. And just to finish it off, a bit of colour as well as a wee bit of flavour. I'm going to cut some little bits of spring onion into the top. And I think we're done. Bon appetit! Oh, that's fair, bro.
The finished product, Cullen Skink, and I like to serve it with a bit of bread. But hang on, I've lost my bread. Here it is behind me. Not just any old bread. I like to serve it with cornbread. And sometimes, as I said, I put sweet corn in and make it a chowder. I don't know why it suddenly becomes a chowder, but it does. So I think we're done.
So that's it, folks. We're done. I've got my cornbread and I've got my Cullen Skink and I'm going to have my lunch. See you soon. Bye. Mmm. 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 Mmm.